Breaking news! Massive explosions in Crimea. The entire peninsula was shaken. Several airfields came under heavy attack at once. These shots are blowing up the internet, and that's not all. Drones also reached the Moscow region. Let's go through everything step by step. Hello, this is Ukraine Today. I'm Renata Aslanova, and here are the latest events. Powerful explosions rocked Crimea. According to preliminary reports, drones visited the airfields of Havardiske, Kirovske, and Saki. After midnight, reports of numerous explosions on the occupied peninsula began appearing online. In particular, there were claims that Simferopol and the surrounding area were allegedly under attack by UAVs. There were reports of many impacts.
Here comes right now. Okay.
It was also loud in Yevpatoria, Bakhchisarai district, Sevastopol, Feodosia, Saki, Alushta, Novofedorivka, Kacha, and Kirovsky districts. By morning, the Telegram channel Crimean Wind, citing its subscribers, reported that a column of smoke could be seen from Simferopol in the southern direction. They noted that there is a gas power plant there, and further on is Perevalne. It was also reported that in Perevan, explosions and the buzzing of a drone could be heard from afar. By the way, on May 16th, ammunition depots were hit there. It is known that the 126th Coastal Defense Brigade of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, as well as the 8th Artillery Regiment, are based in Perevan. Russian propagandists reported about 6 explosions over occupied Simferopol. They wrote that preliminarily air defense systems were allegedly working against drones. Eyewitnesses said they heard sirens and explosions around 2 in the morning. Bright flashes could be seen from the direction of the sea, and the sound of an engine was also heard in the sky. And that's not all. At night, drones attacked the Moscow region. In particular, the armed forces of Ukraine struck the Resonant Technopark in Zubovo, Moscow region. According to the General Staff, a factory for serial production and assembly of printed circuit boards and electronics was hit. The company's products are widely used in the manufacture of high-tech weapons and equipment.
What's that? A drone.
And recently, unidentified drones attacked Tatarstan, the Moscow region, and 9 other regions of Russia.
You see? Whoa. There's something flying. Whoa. Only there's ones. There's another one. Beams.
Russian public channels reported that during the drone attack on the Leningrad region, 1 UAV was shot down. The governor of the region added that in several districts, restrictions on mobile communications and the internet were introduced. It is also noted that explosions were heard in Tatarstan.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
In particular, explosions were heard in Nizhnekamsk and Yelabuga. According to reports from propaganda media, there is allegedly a Shahed drone manufacturing plant located there. Eyewitnesses say that the drones were flying toward the north of Tatarstan. There are factories there that are likely producing drones. There were reports about the closure of entry to the industrial zone. It was impossible to get into the factories. There were also issues with communication, likely due to the use of jammers. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, that night Russian air defense forces allegedly intercepted and destroyed 102 drones. Bryansk, Belgorod, Voronezh, Kaluga, Kursk, Oryol, Leningrad and Smolensk regions, as well as the temporarily occupied Crimea, were also under attack. It is noted that that night Russian aviation authorities imposed restrictions at all airports of the Moscow aviation hub, as well as in Saratov, Samara, Kazan, Kaluga, Nizhnekamsk, Izhevsk, Kirov and Pulkovo in St. Petersburg. Local residents published a video capturing the moment of an attempt to shoot down one of the UAVs. A new wave of drone attacks on the territory of the Russian Federation has caused panic among Russians. Locals complained about powerful explosions.
Ukrainian drones are a serious threat to the Russian Federation. After the special operation by the SBU, Russians are no longer in the mood for jokes. The first thing the Kremlin tackled, that is to save what remains, so the surviving bombers were decided to be moved farther away from Ukraine. But will this have any effect? Watch right now. Russia's getting closer to the USA. For now, the aggressor country is not advancing. It is, oddly enough, hiding from Ukraine. The Russians decided to hole up in a corner after the successful web operation, which was carried out by Ukrainian special services on Russian territory. After that, according to monitoring channels, Russia decided to disperse its two 160 aircraft from the Engels airbase. It is already known that they are trying to hide the planes. The Russians decided to do this in the Far East, almost 70 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. But let's note, less than 1,000 kilometers from the military political administration of America. After the successful operation by the Ukrainian side in the moment of destruction of the strategic aviation aircraft of the Russian aerospace forces. The Russians barely had time to hide the planes before the first one was already found at Anadyr Airfield, which is a federal-level general base airfield in the capital of the Chukotka Autonomous Okrug. The search for the remaining aircraft is still ongoing. It should be noted that there are only 6 airfields across the entire Russian Federation capable of accommodating strategic bombers, meaning their number has remained unchanged. And that is why the Russian Federation is well aware that, for example, the possibility of using the Engels airfield has essentially been reduced to 0. Let us remind you, Engels is located in the Saratov region. The distance from the line of combat contact is up to 700 kilometers. And by the way, on the day we were preparing our material, the defense forces of Ukraine once again struck the oil processing plant in Engels, which supplies materials to the airfields where strategic bombers are based. Another airfield that is actively being attacked by Ukrainian forces is located in the Ryazan region. This is the Dyagilevo airfield, which is located 500 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. The Dyagilevo airfield is a military facility located within the territory of Russia. This airfield is situated approximately 500 kilometers or about 310 miles from the border that separates Russia from Ukraine. Being positioned at such a distance means that the Dyagilevo airfield is not near the immediate border area, but rather lies. It turns out that the Russian Federation does not rule out repeated attacks on the airbase airfield. They are playing chess with their bombers, hoping that they won't be. From the heart of Moscow, stretching all the way to the farthest outskirts and remote borders, the entire vast territory of the Russian Federation is completely within range. This means that no matter where you are located within Russia, you are found to be inside the coverage area. We have already seen that the Kremlin dictator and his team are afraid. The intriguing question remains, how will Putin, who is fighting against America in Ukraine, and now, both diplomatically and militarily, is already cozying up to that same America, use it in the event of further successful attacks by the Ukrainian armed forces? Will he run and ask Trump for asylum, or will he take his army to conquer new territories?
And what do you think about such drone attacks on important Russian targets? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button under the video and stay up to date with the main news. There's more to come.